We are gathered here today to sip some tea, honey, so make sure you guys have your teacups ready because this tea is what? Piping hot. Hey, you guys, it's your girl T, and I hope everybody's doing good today. Make sure y'all have y'all's teacups ready because y'all already know this tea is what? Piping hot. So anyways, y'all, I wanted to come on here and talk about the whole TLC situation, honey. Yes. So what went down is that basically TLC was doing an interview with a news station in the UK. And so for whatever reason, this interviewer decided to get super political and wanted to ask him about Black Lives Matter. While T-Boz didn't say a whole lot, Chilli literally ran for the bait, and she decided to just go in and say that all lives matter and that everything is so inclusive. I want you guys to go ahead and check out this interview really quick. Check this out, and I'm going to come back with the rest of my commentary.
Black Lives Matter movement. Did you guys feel strongly about it when it was all kicking off in America? Did you go on any marches? Did you go on any anti-Trump marches?
Well, I didn't go into any marches or anything like that, but for me, all lives matter. You know what I mean? Because there's a time when, different groups are targeted for, different things. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that just the whole, what happened, even, with the police brutality against these young black boys and stuff like that, and all of that kind of stuff is wrong, and even if it was a Caucasian teen kid that this was happening to or whatever, it's just not right. Mm-mm.
What's it like for you both being black women in America in the age of Donald Trump?
I don't care about Donald Trump. So, God is my president, so I just feel sorry for people it affects, but I don't care about him. I worked on a Celebrity Apprentice, and I wasn't too fond of men, so I don't care, really.
All right, so you guys just saw that interview. So, of course, once that interview went viral the other day, folks started dragging Chilli, honey, by her silky baby hairs, okay? They were dragging her all over social media. People were really pissed off about what she had to say. So now, as of today, she's finally responding back to all the backlash that she's been receiving. And this is what she told the Shade Room. So she told the Shade Room, of course, Black Lives Matter, and the killing of young black boys is heartbreaking to all of us. Everyone knows I'm a black mother of a black son, so there is no way I could watch what's happening and not be affected. That video was from an interview in London asking me about issues happening in the U.S. My response was inclusive of everyone, but not meant to undervalue the Black Lives Matter movement or to suggest police brutality against blacks is acceptable. So that's what she said to the Shade Room. So once that came out, a lot of people still said, you know what, it's a day late and a dollar short. She's disingenuous. I'm not supporting her new album. So a lot of folks are really, really pissed off. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the comments, the tweets, and what folks have to say concerning her apology. Check this out, and I'm going to come back with the rest of my commentary. You guys just saw what people were saying. Now, on top of that, T-Boz is also responding to the backlash. She was going off on a few people in her comment section who felt like, they were being disrespectful for confronting her about that. So I also want to go ahead and show you guys what a fan said to T-Boz and what T-Boz said back to that fan. All right, so you guys just saw what T-Boz said back to her fan. So now the thing that kind of confuses me about this whole situation is that they were basically doing press because we all know they have a new album coming out. A lot of people are really excited about this new album. They had recently shot a video in LA with Snoop Dogg, so a lot of people were really being supportive because, as we all know, a few years ago when the TLC movie hit VH1, they had asked their fans for donation to help make one last TLC project. So now that project is finally coming to fruition, and they decide to basically offend their black fan base. That makes no sense. What happened to the days when celebrities, when they were asked a question that they weren't comfortable with, where they said, you know what, I'll pass, no response. I'm not speaking on that. I'm not here for that. I know Beyonce's real good at that. Beyonce will not allow anybody to ask her a question unless it's pre-approved. And I think that's where T-Boz and Chilli messed up. They've been in the game long enough to not be baited in this manner. If they were going to do an interview with this news station, they should have made sure that they knew what the questions were going to be about, and they really should have just stuck to the music. If T-Boz is not into politics, that's fine. A lot of people are not into politics. I've said that myself. I'm not into making political videos, and I'm not going to make political videos. That's not my thing. I do know what's going on in the world. I do read up on what's going on around me. Just because my personal videos don't reflect that means nothing. And I think that if she's not into it and that's not a topic that she feels comfortable with or feels comfortable addressing, then they should have said, you know what, we don't feel comfortable addressing that. We're not going to address that. It makes no sense to agree to sit down to do an interview and then let the interviewer basically put you guys in a jam. Because now, unfortunately for them and unfortunately for Chilli, because of what she said, this is going to attach to whatever they plan on doing. And this has left a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths. Now, Chilli is entitled to her opinion, and she's also entitled to express it however she wants to. But I think as an artist trying to make a comeback after all these years of being out of the game, she should have been way more tactful. It's almost like she was so excited to answer this question, but she literally dropped the ball when trying to respond. Another thing that bothers me with a lot of, black celebrities, and I've covered this throughout the whole summer. You guys can go back and watch past videos. So many celebrities got canceled this summer is ridiculous. I mean, everybody from Fetty Wap to Kevin Gates, all these people screaming all lives matter. And like I've always said, I don't understand why with celebrities they feel like there's some type of shame or stigma with saying Black Lives Matter. It's funny how white artists like Pink and even Kim Kardashian, strangely enough, they get it. They understand that, just because somebody says that Black Lives Matter, it does not mean that they're saying that all lives don't matter. That's not what they're saying. And I broke this down in videos before, so you guys know how I feel about this. You can be black. You can have a black platform. You can still be proud to be black and still be inclusive. People who subscribe to my YouTube channel, I have people who watch me of all races, religions, genders, sexual orientations, things like that. But I know damn well every last one of them knows that TT is black first, okay? And because I'm black first and I believe that Black Lives Matter, that does not mean that I don't believe that all lives matter. Because from my content, you can tell I care about all lives mattering because I've talked about issues concerning the gay community, like when that gay young man was burnt with hot scalding water and you had people acting like it was okay, and I called that bullshit out. I talked about issues that have affected white people, white children, getting hurt and beat up and things like that. I talked about the Indian woman recently who got killed on Facebook Live. So I talk about things that affect all races without having to compromise my blackness or without having to dumb down the fact that I'm a black woman or that I'm proud. I don't see how so many black artists, feel like if they say that Black Lives Matter, if they say that they're proud to be black, somehow that's going to alienate their other fans. If that alienates a certain fan base, they were never your fans in the first place. If somebody's mad because I say Black Lives Matter when I see, police brutality and a lot of the nonsense that's going on out here, If that offends you, you were never a fan of this channel and you can see your way out the damn door. Point blank, period. Because you can't get offended when I say Black Lives Matter, but then when I talk about things that happen to white people that are wrong, you're okay with that. Chilli is way too grown to be sitting here trying to walk the fence and straddle the line and, you know, it's all about all lives mattering. Well, duh. Of course all lives matter. But that's not the point. That wasn't what she asked you. She was asking you about Black Lives Mattering. Why did you feel the need to drag in all lives into it? Talk about Black Lives Mattering and why Black Lives matter to you. And then to go to the shade room. I hate when people try and do that. That's the same thing that Cheryl Underwood tried to do. And she got a lot of backlash for that. If you guys remember, she talked really bad about black hair and how nappy it was and how nobody likes black hair. And then she tried to call herself apologizing on the Steve Harvey show. And we was like, no, bitch, you didn't disrespect black people on the Steve Harvey show. You carry your ass back to ABC in front of that white audience that you were fucking clowning and tap dancing for, and you apologize on that platform. And when black folks held her feet to the fire, her ass went right back to ABC and broke down crying and apologized for the bullshit that she said.
September 2013, we had a topic where we talked about Heidi Klum saving her children's hair. They're biracial and saving it in a plastic bag. And I made some statements that were not only wrong, they hurt our community. And when I say our community, black people are very sensitive about a discussion about our hair. And statements that were very, very hurtful. And to come out of the mouth of a very proud black woman, I was wrong. And I wanted to take the time to apologize, especially in the forum that this discussion occurred, because there was a lot of backlash and a lot of people said that I was Uncle Tom, and that I was
that you were self-hating.
Yes, and that I was a HN, and I was there were words that were used. I was a coon. I was all kinds of different things, and I could understand that kind of language being used because people were hurt. They were hurt that I had the platform, and I'm going to say it, on the #1 network, and that I made a big mistake on the #1 network.
And that's my issue with this. Don't go to the shade room. Outside of the damn urban community, most people don't even know who the hell the shade room is. Go back to ABC News where you said that bullshit and then expound on what the hell you meant. Don't go to the shade room and, you know, tell the shade room what you meant to say. Go back to that interview. I'm not saying she got to fly back to the UK. Do a Skype interview, and then you break it down to her on her platform, and you apologize and you talk about what you meant to say. You know, I just get so tired of that. And I'm a big fan of TLC. I'm a big fan of T-Boz. I like Chilli. You know what I'm saying? But it just gets really, really disheartening and annoying when you have so many black celebrities who feel the need to constantly tiptoe and walk around certain issues. Most grown adults understand that saying Black Lives Matter does not diminish anybody else's race, ethnicity, or racial makeup, okay? Because somebody says Black Lives Matter does not mean that white lives don't matter. Does not mean that Asian lives don't matter. That's not what it means. We have to get out of this whole walking on eggshells and being so quick to throw our own people under the bus in hopes of not offending other people. I just think that's ridiculous, and I feel like that's what Chilli did in this situation. You know, and I think it may come back to bite her in the ass because honestly, as a celebrity, they should not even touch this topic. This topic is way too touchy, way too sensitive. They really should have went there to just strictly talk about the music and nothing else. So anyways, y'all, let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this entire crazy situation. Once again, concerning the backlash that TLC, particularly Chilli, is receiving from black folks online for saying that all lives matter and basically trying to diminish, you know, the whole Black Lives Matter movement. So let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Go ahead and leave a comment. All right. Deuces. Hey you guys, it's your girl T. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share my videos. You can also visit Lovelyti.com to purchase any merchandise. Also, don't forget to click the boxes down below to watch any of my previous videos. Talk to y'all later. Deuces.